I like it. I like it.
And what's the correct pronunciation of
FranJeZ.
FranJeZ? Okay.
FranJeZ. It's a mix of my first and last name, Francisco Jerez. With a
Oh,
J.
so that's just a nickname.
I made it up. Yeah,
Oh.
I combined my first and last name.
There you go.
Francisco Jerez, FranJeZ.
There you go. I like it.
Thank you. Talk about it with FranJeZ. Today's special guest is a multimedia branding expert and a published author. Today's guest is Mike Rodriguez.
Thank you. Thank you. I've also brought back, what's crazy, that I don't know if Ab told you, for the last time I was here, I brought back Mike's Success. Like, that was such a
Saw that on
thing.
your IG.
I may get so dramatic, right? Like, I put it out there. Like, I'm back, you know. But that was more for me. Like, it was dramatic for me, right? Everybody else was like, yo, that's how I met you. That's how I knew you. You know what I mean? So with the book is Mike Rodriguez. You know how you have like Ludacris, right? He was a rapper, and then when he was in Fast and Furious, it was Chris Bridges.
Of course.
So I guess that's what I'm doing.
So it's Mike Success Rodriguez.
There you go.
There you go. It's your middle name.
FranJeZ.
Success is my middle name.
You know? Yeah, right.
There you go.
Right. That's right.
All right, let's start off with a wellness check. How are you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful. Prior to coming here, I just finished up a call, actually with the co-author of the book, Ash, and I literally, right before I hung up, I told him, thank you for being a friend, thank you for your wisdom, for your knowledge, for your ear, and just your overall energy, and, you know, I appreciate people, so, and I always like to let them know, like, I never want to take people for granted, so, you know, I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right.
That's beautiful. What a strong intro. I love it.
Yeah.
We're going to get into a lot of things, and punctuality is one of them. You were outside on your phone call before I even got here.
Yeah. Oh,
I
you saw
pulled
me.
up, and I'm like, this guy is good. Like 20 minutes early, you're already parked and comfortable on the phone.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, this guy's good.
Yeah, I did a video about that this morning, about bringing back punctuality. Like,
Nice.
I think people underestimate that. You know, I think it sets a tone from the very beginning.
100% sets the tone.
Yeah.
Especially if it's the first impression.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
You don't value my time. What's going on here?
Yeah.
You know, it's deep.
So this is the second impression.
Yeah,
for you.
this is the second. Yeah.
But
Early both times.
Yes.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. 100%. All right, so let's start from the beginning.
Okay.
Where were you born?
I was born in Lenox Hill Hospital in Manhattan. So I guess I'm a Manhattan baby. I'm a money-making Manhattan baby.
I like that.
Yeah.
And where your parents lived at the time was the Bronx?
Yeah, in the Bronx. Yeah, my father's first generation from Puerto Rico. He moved here when he was 4. My mother's second generation because my grandmother was here first. But yeah, we were in the Bronx. I want to say we were in the concourse when I was a baby. And then was in the Bronx. And then in the conversation we had, moved up to Yonkers. Then I moved upstate and then came back to the Bronx. So
What ages were the Yonkers upstate back to the Bronx?
I moved to Yonkers. Damn, was that 8? Moved to Yonkers at 8. Moved upstate about 13. And then came back down to the Bronx at 18.
Wow.
Well, I lived in my car. So
What?
on my way down.
Oh, we got a lot to cover.
Yeah. I was sitting there thinking about my timeline. I'm like, yeah, I don't know where, I don't know what you call that. The highway, the Taconic I lived on.
Man,
That's crazy.
that is crazy.
Yeah.
So let's get into it. Why the move to Yonkers from the Bronx?
I think my parents, I know my parents always looking for better, right? I think that was as a parent, you always want better for your kids, and it was just, hey, let's move, keep going. Like,
The more north you go in New York, I don't know if you guys know, it gets better.
yeah.
Well, less congested. I wouldn't say better.
Yeah.
It's less
Because there's hoods
congested.
everywhere, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's what my parents did that. I might have been earlier, to be honest with you, that I moved to Yonkers. But I know once we got there, and then my stepfather, his family had property up in Putnam County, and they had like a summer like cabin or whatever, and then they knocked it down and then built a house. and then we moved up there. Like, I wasn't happy about it. I mean, again, I don't know if any kid is happy when because you have kid brain, right? Oh, my friends, and parents are looking at it like, hey, it's better for
Absolutely.
you. So, but yeah, listen, I wouldn't change anything. I mean, everything, my whole process made me who I am. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, so I'm good.
Absolutely. So, do you remember anything of Yonkers within those few years you were here?
Yeah. I mean, I love Yonkers is where I first learned about business, really, from like as far as a 10-year-old. I tell the story a lot. Like my mom had a 9-to-5, but I had entrepreneur spirit. My grandmother had a bar for 40 years in the South Bronx. And my mom was the same way. She had her 9-to-5, but she also had a company that she had partnered with somebody with a company for advertising specialties, which we would call merch today, right? And then she kind of left and was like, I'm gonna start this on my own. And I named the company, I gave it a slogan, and then from school, I went to Sacred Heart.
My man.
I went and I spoke to the coaches to have them all from my basketball team, the track team, and I forgot the other team, to order from my mother.
Nice.
Right? So that started her business. She took me to the Bahamas and she said, this is your commission. And I think from then is when I fell in love with business. But yeah, I mean, Yonkers was dope. Yonkers was dope, Again, it's just the times were simpler back then.
Absolutely. They were simpler.
Yeah, so, but like we talked off camera.
Yeah.
Like Gordon High School, St. Mary's Park, Sacred Heart, all that.
Simpler times.
Yeah, exactly.
So what was it Putnam County?
Putnam County, yeah.
What was that like?
Moved up to Carmel. It was different. I think I might have been one of the only Puerto Ricans up there. I'm dead serious. Like, I'm not even, I think there was one, but he was up there for a while. So it was like, I definitely went up there with an attitude. I never forget, because I basketball was my thing. Once I realized that my blueprints were only going to be 5'8", I stuck with baseball. But I love basketball, and I went up there with attitude. Like, I'm up here, like, and I remember I was like, oh, who? I said somebody had asked me what position you play. I was like, I'm a point guard. They were like, oh, Adam's a point guard. I said, well, not anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I came up with that attitude. But I was able to be around that, right? And I adapted to it. And I think that's why I'm able to adapt to any place that I'm in, because I've been everywhere. From the bottom of the bottom to the top of the top, and I'm comfortable wherever, and I'm able to maneuver. But it showed me a lot for life. Like, at the moment, I wasn't happy, but in hindsight, it was great.
Absolutely,
it was great.
Absolutely. And then what brought you back to the Bronx?
It was because I was young, and I was like, yo, this shit is whack up here. You know what I mean? So I was like, I went back, and that was the time that I went through some crazy times for me. I was an athlete up until I graduated. I gave up a scholarship for a female that is not my wife, and I went through a real tough time after that. And I literally, my mom was like, you gotta bounce, like, kicked me out of the crib, and as I was affecting her sobriety, and I get it, and I didn't care. I really didn't care. I thought I was who I was, and I just wasn't myself, to be honest with you. And, I went back, and I came. It was funny because a friend of mine, he got kicked out, right? I had a whip. And, bro, it was ill. It was ill. I would go to the supermarket. I would steal food. Like, that's how I was eating. I had baseball cards. I would sell that to get gas. Like, it was nuts. And like I said, it wasn't from having a bad family. It was me just being a knucklehead. And I didn't need to go through that. But I'm glad I went through all that, because there's a whole journey that I went through. Really tough times. That made me who I am today. So, but that was going back. My grandmother who had the bar, she was like, Ain't no grandson of mine living in the street like that. And that's when I stayed there, and then whole life over there, and You know?
Man.
Yeah, it was wild, bro. It's wild. Wow.
That's a journey, man. That's a real journey.
Yeah.
What religion did you practice growing up?
I grew up Catholic, Sacred Heart, Altar Boy. You know, did all of that, and then as I got older, I kind of just became spiritual. I spoke a lot. I had stepbrothers that are Jewish. I had friends that were Muslim, and I liked as I was getting older, I had a lot of conversations, and I liked to learn a lot, and I started to question some things, right? Because as a kid, you're taught this is what it is, and then as you become an adult, you get your own brain, and you start to be like, I don't know if I agree with that or I believe, and I kind of put that together. But that's something, and I learned from my grandmother, is I don't speak so much about religion and politics, because that was a rule in the bar. You can speak about anything but religion and politics, because that becomes, people become super passionate, and I get it, and I'd rather not. Hey, I'm not gonna change your mind. How about
Definitely.
that? Right.
Definitely.
So let people be who they are.
Absolutely.
So.
And what's your relationship with God?
I have a good relationship with God. I pray every day. Like I said, I'm uber spiritual. I grew up. My grandmother was, she prayed to Saint Michael. Right. I grew up in the typical, Puerto Rican grandmother table with the picture, candle. And if you understand that, you understand it. If you don't, it's okay too. But that was my life. And, that's why my grandmother and I were like this. And that's why I was named Michael. My grandmother told my mom weeks ahead of time when I was going to be born. She said, he's going to be born September 29th. And that was St. Michael's Day. That's why I was like a gift from God to my grandmother. So it's funny. You talk to my cousins; they were like, we were all fighting for number 2. There was no way we was getting number 1. We can't beat that. You were born on St. Michael's Day, bro. Like, it's impossible for us to even get that.
Yeah, for real.
But yeah, I believe in a higher power. It has to be for me.
Of course.
But yeah, I have a good relationship. God, karma, universe, whatever you want to call it, I have a great relationship. I gotta tell people I'm a private client because I'm so good.
Nice. Let's talk about the Pivot Company.
Mm-hmm. What's crazy about that is there's now going to be a pivot from the Pivot Company. Seriously. So the Pivot Co was. I'm big on acronyms, and Pivot was spelled differently, Pivit, and it stood for prioritizing influencers and very important talent. And, I had separated from a business partner, and I was looking, I needed to start again and just build. And I did that, and I hadn't really pushed it. And then now, just understanding, I always had my LLC, the brand Success, right? And now with this coming back to Mike's Success, I think I'm really going to, like I said, I haven't really done stuff with Pivot. I think it's more to get back to, I got to get back to me. And I think I'm going to lean more into the brand Success. And there's a lot of things that I'm building with that. And it just makes sense. It just makes sense.
So Pivot would have been what you're doing, but branding it as Pivot, not you.
Right. So that's a company. So rather than pushing, and like I said, I didn't really push the Pivot Co. It was just, hey,
that's what you called it.
Right, that's what I called it. But now, I'm focusing on me and pushing me, right? But now it makes sense if Mike's Success and everything that I've had, it's crazy how it's coming full circle.
Of course.
It's everything that I've had. It's, it's a consulting business that I've had that I used. Hey, this is my company. You want to pay if it's something I'm doing? Hey, just pay the brand Success. I've had it. Now I think I got to build. I had a logo I had everything, and again, it's just life happens the way it is, and I think that's where it's ironic that the name is Pivot, and I'm making another pivot.
You're pivoting.
Yeah, and people will sit there and be like, "Damn, but what are you gonna do?" But listen, I'm trying to figure it out too. I have to make sure that I'm doing what I feel is right.
This is the next move.
Right. Not for anybody else.
This is my next move.
Right. And if people don't understand it, it's okay.
Absolutely.
But I am always going to be at the core, which is great. So it's not like I told you pivot and you didn't know about Mike or Mike's success or whatever. And then it's like, oh, but wait a minute, I heard pivot. Nah, I've always been there. So,
instead of pivot being the face, I'm the face.
I'm the face.
You know who's behind pivot.
Right. I could be behind dog shit fucking that say, don't matter. You know what I mean? It's me. So
let's talk about it. How important is personal branding?
I think it's huge. It's just coming from me because I grew up in business. Look, my name is Mike, right? And I marketed my name. I spelled it MYQ.
Yep.
So that when you go in your phone, there's only guarantee. I don't want to guarantee, but for the 9 times out of 10, I'm the only MYQ.
You're easier to find.
Right. You know what I mean? Mike, which Mike? Oh, wait, Mike from Yonkers Studio? Mike from, which Mike is this from? So I think more than before, personal branding is huge right now, right? There has to be something about you that you brand. Like, you can't really force it. I was raised in it. My mother is not a tall woman. My mother's 4'10", right? And I was taught she always wore big earrings. And she said, they may not remember my name, but they're going to know the short woman with the big earrings.
Wow.
So I did that. So that's why, like, there was, I wear Yankee hats a lot. That's my thing. I was wearing blazers at one time it was like Yankee hat and blazer. Like, there's something that you're going to know. Like I said, my name is Mike with the Q. Like, there's always something. So I feel like if you're in business, you have to separate yourself somehow, some way. And it doesn't have to be so dramatic, but it has to be whatever you are, whoever you are. Like, I guess in certain businesses, there could be a version of you that's not you. Like, that's what you're playing. But I think the best way to be, personal branding is be whoever it is that you are.
Absolutely. What's the importance of personal branding, you think? Is it the trust factor?
Yeah, I think
into the person.
Yeah, I think like I said, I think it separates you. Everybody's different, and everybody tries to be so much the same because they see something that works, and it's like you are one of one, so be that one. And when people see that and get it, because energy is not taught. You can't get no certificate for it. You can't get, a master's in energy. You got to have it. And people understand it and people see it and feel it as soon as you walk into the room. And that, for me, is also a part of your personal branding. You could have no name, whatever, but somebody be like, yo, who is that? Because there's a presence, there's an aura about you. And that is huge in this day and age when everybody's trying to do it, right? So what separates you? So It's huge.
I love it. What is the HF Entertainment?
Oh, HF, that's Cheekless company. So we started, he started something called HF's Fam. So when he was with his boys, that was their crew. It was HF. And then...
What does that stand for, do you know?
HF's Fam.
What is
HF's,
it? HF's Fam? Like family?
Yeah.
Okay.
So HF's was... The story behind that is that everybody was saying facts, and they looked up what hechos was. How do you say facts in Spanish? So hechos was, so that's kind of what that was. And then,
I like that's creative.
Yeah, and that was that's the company that's Cheekless company that I'm partners in with him and Melanie. So it's HF Entertainment. So,
Nice. What's this group?
That was my old company. It stood for trust, honesty, integrity, and success. And that was the former company, and then
before Pivot.
No, this was yes, it was before Pivot. I'm sorry. That's why I made the pivot. That's what pardon the pun.
That word is great, man. It goes with everything.
Yeah, with everything. So
pivoted from this group to Pivot. Now Pivot to success.
Back to the brand success.
Back to success. And you covered it already. The brand success. I have it down from 2020.
Yeah, no, I've had that. Like I
May
said,
2020.
Yeah, I built that because during COVID.
So back then you wanted to build your personal brand,
Yeah.
but then you pivoted to
Yeah.
creating a brand that you weren't the face of.
Well, this is the thing. This is the thing, and coming back for me to understand me, right? I've always been a team player, and I never wanted to focus on me,
100%.
right? So I had that, and I was like, I even was skeptical with this group because it had the word success in it, and I was like, oh, it's me, like, but it's not, you know, like I always was shying away from the light being on me, and again, in this past year, knowing that I was going to become 50, there was a lot of changes in my life, a lot of things that I had to really just take control of my life, and I was like, nah, like,
Put things in perspective.
yeah, I'm like, nah, I'm me, like, and I'm okay. Like, I gotta focus on me. I gotta trust me. It's okay. It doesn't mean that I'm a bad person. And that's kind of like the thing is like I hated, like I would always push stuff away, and I was always doing for everybody else. And if you know me, you know I'm positively selfish now. Where,
I like that.
you know, like seriously, bro, like because it was, I would do for everybody else, and it's like I gotta take control of my life. I'm 50, bro. This is like I tell everybody my joke, and it's funny. I was on the phone with Chiclet the other day, and I was like, yo, I can only use this joke for this year, but I was like, yo, I hope this is halftime in my life, right? I really do. I really hope.
I like that.
And if it is, I hope Kendrick is bringing out Drake and Lil Wayne, so it'll be a fire halftime. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. You know?
Hell yeah.
Just even me being here, bro, like doing these pods and everything like that. It's like I'm just taking matters into my own hands, and I have people that I consult, like to sit there and be like, yo, what do you think? Whatever. But yo, I gotta just do. I just gotta do.
The drive to just do for you as the brand start when you wanted to promote the book. Makes sense, right? Where it's like, you know what?
Well, that's definitely my next.
You have to put a face to a book.
Yeah,
at
yeah.
the end of the day. To sell nowadays, to promote, you gotta promote somehow.
Yeah, like
How
it's
better than from the author.
Yeah, and it's funny. Again, it's the next chapter of my life. Not pardon the pun, but this book has really changed my trajectory as far as for what I see for me. So it's good. I'm happy. I'm comfortable, and I'm confident. And I'm okay with making mistakes too.
Oh, I know. The Content to Cash Bible. Everything you need to know to build wealth in the creator economy. It's out. It's out now. I started reading it myself. I just got a copy a few days ago. It's dense with good information.
Yeah.
The word Bible makes sense because it's not something you just read for fun.
Right.
It's the information you need is inside the book.
Right.
It's just information, a reference book. Definitely. Let's talk about it. What made you write the book?
Ash, my co-author, Ash. I know him over 15 years. He's a financial educator, financial advisor, financial influencer, good friend of mine. And I was in Atlanta, and we linked up, and we were talking. He was like, yo, Mike, you got to write a book. I was like, yeah, no problem.
You were talking some good shit. He's like, yo, put that in a book.
Nah,
That's
he
how
was
it
like,
happened?
yo, you have to. And then, again, during this transition, I was like, yo, bro, I said, I really think, I was thinking about it. And he was like, yeah. And then we were having a conversation. I was like, yo, bro, but I want you to be a part of this too, because they don't have, like, influencers and people that are coming into this space don't have the financial aspect of it where they know what to do and how to move them, do anything with their money. So we decided to do it together. And I don't know, I may stand on this one, but I don't think there's any book like this out where it's basically breaking down content, how to get into this game, and then it also tells you, hey, this is when you get a manager and this and that. And then once you're successful and once you've built something, hey, this is what you do with your money. This is where you should put your money. This is what you should do and learn how to do those things. I don't think there's a book out there like that. There may be I know there's financial literacy books and I know there's content books, but I don't think anything that's put this together. And I don't know if there's anything that breaks this down like the ABCs of content creation.
Nice. The ABCs of content creation. Powerful.
Yeah, for sure.
I love it. I love it. Do you know, because you're living in the social media space where you're understanding what's going on, you have any idea what the next big thing is?
No, I mean, this is still growing. They said, I think it was, they said $500 billion by 2030, clearly this AI stuff is happening. I do think that live interaction is going to come back like for real, because we're going to be so conditioned on, screens and everything like that and AI and virtual, and I get that. But I think, and this is me, and maybe this is an old school mentality, I think the human element is going to kind of come back and it's going to cost more. Because you're so accustomed to this. And, you want me to actually be there? Oh, all right. That costs. So I just think, I think authenticity is coming back, like the real authenticity, because that's also trendy. And I'm authentic and I'm organic. You can see right through that. I think that's why I think you're starting to see, bigger creators not have the engagement that micro creators are having, micro influencers, because you get more from that. Brands see that too. I think that's what it is. Everything has to translate, but I think real people and I think real stars are gonna come back into the fold, because we walk out here, we're gonna step on creators. You know what I mean? They're all over the place.
What do you think is the number one most important social media platform?
I think it depends on your niche, right? If you're if you're a director or a film, hey, maybe it's probably YouTube. It's a long form content. If you're a photographer, Instagram, skits, TikTok, storyteller. I like Snapchat. I haven't dove into Snap, but I like it for that. Like I said, a lot of these, it's hard to have an answer unless it's like a situation, right? Like, hey, if you had this type of influencer, what would you do? What platform? And what I like to do is I try to tell influencers or anybody, like, try to utilize all these platforms, but like, let's just say, I use this example. Let's just say you're going, right? One day you're going and you're going to have a photo shoot, right? So you record that. The whole day, it's like a vlog.
Behind the scenes.
Right, all that.
Plus you get the photos.
All that. So now what you do is you put the behind the scenes and the vlog style on YouTube, right? Throughout, you can go stories on IG or stories on TikTok, asking questions. Yo, this is where I'm going to grab something to eat. This dude. And then you could put the final photo, 3 or 4, whatever it is, on IG. So you're utilizing all of this within one shot, because I think a lot of people get it twisted where it's like, I got to shoot this for IG, I got to shoot this for TikTok, I got to shoot this for YouTube, and it becomes overwhelming. And I think if you utilize one situation, take pieces, you know what I mean? I think that helps.
Yeah, that's exactly what I do. Like, for example, with this show, the long form on YouTube, with that I have unlimited amount of reels. I can make one compacted one with a bunch of funny clips or whatever the case. And with that reel, I could post it literally. I even post on LinkedIn, X, Snapchat, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. I'm not even on these platforms as a viewer. I just post and close the app. I just put it everywhere.
Yeah, no, I get that.
One form of content. I mean, one piece of content for days.
Yeah.
It's content for days.
Yeah, but go back just so that you can engage, because that's the thing.
Definitely, I do. I'm still small time enough where I'm answering every single comment. It's me.
No, I get it.
It's me. Everything right now is definitely me.
I get it.
I got this crazy idea right now. You know how Google is like the biggest search engine?
It's about to be second.
Let's talk about this.
Go ahead.
So right now, everybody's running ads through Google because Google is the powerhouse. YouTube and Google. I even been doing on YouTube. It makes sense because everybody's on YouTube, everybody's on Google. AI. What happens when everybody turns that switch on and says, "Oh, Google's not the most reliable source of information. AI is." Once everybody learns that, Google ads are dead. Where do you think the future of ads and Google and AI? Because I've been really trying to wrap my mind around this and I can't figure it out.
Yeah, for me, I literally thought about this the other day. It's funny that you're even asking this because I was like, damn. So when is AI gonna sit there and give you a free platform where you're gonna get ads on AI? Like every time you type something in, if you have the free version, you're gonna get an ad. I don't know the people that own all of that, but that would make the most sense. Because at the end of the day, you got to go where the people are, right? I remember back in the days, I was trying to find somebody like a telecommunications, like phone company, that when I called you, I got an ad. Instead of hearing the ring, I wanted to hear an ad.
Yeah.
Like that would have been fire.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I never found somebody, whatever. Might have been living out of the car by then. Anyway, no, but that's going to happen. I'll be shocked if that doesn't happen.
But that's what I'm saying. What's going to happen? What do you think is going to happen?
I think there's going to be ads on ChatGPT.
No, but for example, AI is not even a place or a website.
No,
You know what I mean?
No,
So,
I know,
so it's like somebody could just create a website that has AI where there's no ads.
Yeah, so
you know what I mean?
when I say, artificial intelligence, it is what it is. I'm talking about like the ChatGPTs, all of these AI platforms that you can, ChatGPT is
There'll
clearly
be one with no ads is what I mean.
Right, there'll be one that you got to pay for.
Free with no ads is what I mean.
Oh, I don't know if it'll be free with
That's what I'm saying. Like for how ChatGPT is now.
Yeah.
Once Google's dead,
yeah. Once they
what do you
realize
think
that
is gonna happen?
they're gonna make bread. I'm telling you, there's gonna be ads on ChatGPT. I'm telling you, guaranteed.
So you think ChatGPT is the Google of AI?
Yes, I think that's what's gonna happen. That's
That's
my
powerful.
opinion. That's my opinion. You're
That's
gonna sit there and be
powerful.
like, "Hey, give me a caption for the pic with me and FranJeZ just at the Yonkers studio." Blah blah blah. Shout out Yonkers studio. And then it's going to be like either it's going to give you a video, it's going to give you click the link for 20% off at McDonald's or whatever. Okay, cool. And then you'll get your caption. That's what I would do if I owned ChatGPT. I would do that now. You know how many people is on that? And there's I'm not so well versed in it. I know it's there.
It's so new, so they're not trying to turn people away. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, but it's
just
but it's
open
gonna
access.
happen. They already got the paid one where that one.
Yeah.
It comes with like if you
It's like up to date.
yeah, it makes you drink at home. You know what I'm saying?
What else do you feel about AI? Do you use it?
100%, 100%. Like I am, and I guess I get this from my mother. My mother's 75 years old, and she's like, if you don't evolve, you die. Like not literally, but it's like, so you have to evolve. You got to understand. I'm 50 years old. I deal with, I'm speaking to 18-year-old talent, 30-year, like everybody is mostly younger, and I can learn. And I think you must evolve. I can't imagine if I just stayed in my frame of mind, bro. I'd be sitting there telling people to put ads in magazines. You know what I mean?
100%.
Like seriously, because this is what it is, and make
That's what
sure
it
that
was.
if you do music, where's your CD? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like you have to evolve. So I use ChatGPT a lot. It helps a lot. I think the way ChatGPT works is the more detailed you can be, the better,
Beautiful. It's so beautiful.
because it helps. And me, I can write well, I can speak well. So this makes me when I put that into ChatGPT, it breaks down. It's like, yes, it's like literally like for me, I can't do any of this stuff. Like I find this fascinating.
Yeah.
Editing and stuff like that is very tedious for me, right? Like I couldn't do it, right? I could do it, but I choose not to.
It doesn't
right?
interest you.
Right. But I have such vision, and I can sit there and have a conversation with you and be like, yo, what if we did this? What if we did that? I don't know how to do it, but I have the vision. And that's what I think ChatGPT does for me. Like I'm like, all right, what if I add that? You know, and it helps, and I don't want to fight it. I wouldn't fight it. It helps me.
You use any other AI like photo generation or video generation, any of that fancy stuff? It's getting deep now, man.
No, I can imagine.
It's getting real good.
Yeah. No, there's movies being made just for the AI. You know what I mean? I just saw an article based on that.
There's AI influencers now.
Yeah, I think that's great. I want
That's
one.
insane. Oh, that makes sense.
I want one.
Oh, like a success one?
Yeah, like no. I want to. I want to. I would love somebody that really does that, like AI, that part of it.
Yeah.
And I want to manage an AI influencer. Like I want to have that. Like I want to. That's something I want.
That's the future for real.
Yeah, I want that. I want that.
Another thing that's really big, and it is the future. I would love to hear your opinion on this. Streaming.
Mm-hmm.
You already know Kai Cenat,
Yeah.
all those big dogs. Streaming is it. And TikTok Shop.
Mm-hmm.
Live sales.
Mm-hmm.
You heard about this?
It's like Amazon Live.
Yeah. But they have it like on every platform now. Mm-hmm. That's definitely...
Yeah, that's the move.
And
That's the
streaming.
move.
How you feel about streaming and both of those things? How do you feel about them?
I think it's great. I think it's all great. I think, you know, with everything, it takes work. And a lot of these things, when you're in front of the camera, you also got to have some sort of charisma. Like, you got to have it. Like, that's one thing. I'm going to talk right to the camera. There's a lot of y'all out there that you see all this money and it's like, oh, I could do that. I could do that. Yeah, I hear you. But sometimes it's not for you. Sometimes you got to be behind the camera. And that's where you make the money in this creator economy, because too many people is trying to do this stuff and it's like they're not built. Meaning, you know, this is definitely an old saying. You got a face for radio.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And that's not like as far as on a superficial or aesthetic aspect of it. That was definitely about that. But I'm just saying, like, some people...
Everybody wants to be the man.
Yeah.
We're saying this off camera earlier.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be number one.
Hey, and you're not built for that. And it's okay. We're living too much in the boss era, CEO. I get it. But why can't you be the best VP? Embody it. But you so concerned about trying to be the guy, the man, the whatever, and you're ruining it.
The shine.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
That's actually what held you back, right? Thinking you don't want people to think that of you.
That's what I'm saying. It was the opposite.
Yeah.
I didn't want that.
You don't want that.
I wanted to hold the light. I wanted to be back there like this. I got y'all.
The producer, the orchestrator.
Yeah, but it's like, you know, sometimes like I know who I am and what I am. I was a performer. I danced. That's how I started.
My man.
I was a dancer. Like I love dancing, right? But you know, it's money, it's attention, it's clout, and it's just like, yo, you know, this is just what people are growing up in. And unless you have people to sit there and have that conversation with you, to be like, yo, I see you, I hear you. Why don't we do a shift?
Yeah.
I'm not telling you to stop, right? Just shift a little bit.
Like,
you know
you
what I mean?
like everything we do here, but the front man is just not you.
Yeah, it's like an athlete.
You could
right?
be a part of this big production, but you
Right.
just don't have to be the
Yes,
front man.
yes.
You could be maybe the writer, the producer, you know, give
Figure
the
out
ideas,
what you like.
something, yeah.
And you are not built for in front of the camera. Maybe you're not built to generate content. Maybe you're built to manage the content.
Social media got people thinking that they could be the man.
And some of y'all can, but some of y'all can't either. And that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing.
It's
keeping
not.
it a buck. You got
The
it.
faster you can face reality, the better for you.
Yeah, and it's not quitting. It's adjusting.
Yeah.
It's adjusting. I'm not telling you to stop. Like I always tell people, like some people think, you know, they think that these are periods, but they're commas. You know what I mean? It's just taking a pause. Just
Gem.
take a pause. Take a
Gems,
pause.
my man.
You know what I mean?
Another thing that's big right now, and I feel like will be very big in the near future, communities.
Oh, yeah. That's huge now. What I love about that is that that's how I was raised. I was raised on communities. It took a village to raise. They always say it takes a village to raise a child. And that got lost. And I think, I always say we live in such a me society. And I grew up in a we society. And with communities, it's bringing that we element back. The community is like, oh, this is us. And this is something that you have. And, the FranJeZ, whatever. What is that? Whatever that community is. What is the morals and the values based off of, you and your community? And I love that. I love that. And that's why going back to micros and macro influencers and, it's like they have the communities because they're going to listen, right? And humans are funny, right? You can get to a certain point and then once they see you there, you don't need my support anymore. he good now. You want to be on the come up. Like everybody loves that. Like, hey, I heard it for even music back in the day. I heard that first. Oh, I've been heard that. I've been on them, and they I heard of them, and I was one of their first. And once you get to a point, that's why the beginning stages is very crucial. And when you can build and get to a certain point and still have a community, that's crazy.
Definitely. Who's the first person you think of when you think of success?
Me.
My man, let's talk about it. Why is that?
No, that's
I know why, but let's hear from you.
No, that's my name. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
And also, success is a funny word. Success is different to you than it is to me.
Absolutely.
Success to me might be having a boat, owning Colorado. Like I want to own a state. Like that might be me. To you, it might be having a union job and having my family. We're not wrong.
100%.
That's you. That's me. I'm not going to get mad at you. I'm not going to convince you to want to own Colorado, and you shouldn't be like wanting me to do what you do.
100%.
And I think that's why I think that word is very funny. But I think everybody should find their own success, whatever that is, and that becomes success. Now turns into happiness once you become successful, and you can be grateful and understand who you are and what it is. I'm not saying settle. I'm saying make your success yours, not anybody else's. Because I think too many people are trying to be successful based off of everybody else.
Definitely. Everybody has a different interpretation. Besides, I'm assuming the link to your book is in your bio?
Yes.
Besides your bio, where can people find it?
Amazon, Barnes and Noble, anywhere you buy books.
Nice.
You know what I mean? And then also on any of my posts or whatever.
Nice.
Just write content, write book, you'll get it sent to you regardless. The Amazon link will get sent to you. Because that's the thing. Everybody knows Amazon. Imagine I would have been like, yeah, go to, MikeSuccess.com. Like, yeah, that's cool.
You might get half the
but
sales.
you're not there yet. You know what I mean? Like, Amazon, I know, cool, I got Prime, I can get it tomorrow, perfect.
Yeah, I could complain if it's a scam.
Exactly.
It's Amazon. It's the trusted.
There you go.
Yo, speaking about brands, that's what Amazon is. Everybody trusts Amazon.
Yeah.
People trust Samsung. People trust Apple.
Yeah.
It's about the branding, the brand building.
100%. Build
You
the
gotta be
brand
trusted.
first. It's one thing I say to everybody. Build the brand first, then the business. Can't do the business first, then the brand. Like that, to me, that's backwards. You got to build the brand. That's why with the book, I'm letting people know what's out. I'm building that. Then the next layer is focusing on, hey, now you'll get into the meat and potatoes, and now it becomes about marketing the book itself and what you get out of it. Like this is all planned. Like for me, dropping this book to everybody and doing that. Just know that the book is out.
Just know that the book is out.
That's it. Now next it'll be like okay,
that.
I want to focus on the next layer of things because that's how it is. It's just You know it. Oh, content to cash buy. Oh, yeah, okay. Seen this. There's a lot of strategy behind it. This is all planned. You know what I mean? It's all planned. And I'm old school. 1 doesn't turn into 100. 1 turns to 2. 2 turns to 4. 4 turns to 8.
So
like
on
that.
and so forth. Absolutely.
That's it. That's
Absolutely.
it. I'm
Simple
good.
mathematics.
Simple
One can't
math.
turn into 100. Absolutely, one can't turn into 100.
Yep.
If you had to like pull, the book is full of gems. If you had to just pull one out to give to the people, just one, maybe the most important.
For me is that you're a business. Chapter 7. Please read Chapter 7. Hopefully you buy the book. Chapter 7. Chapter 7 speaks about things that people don't speak about, right? You can have numbers, you can have posts, and you can do all of that. But this is an economy now, and you have to handle yourself like a business. I think there's so many people that leave money on the table because they're not handling themselves like a business. Where you'll have people talk, be like, yeah, I like what they got going on, but I don't really want to work with them. I don't really want to deal with them because they're asking me for their cash. Like it's not a business to them. And you could do that over there. But those are conversations. Those are conversations. I hear the conversations because I speak with people that everything is not just about me and my talent or my creators. It's, yeah, we tried to work with them, but they're just all over the place. There's so many creators out here. So you got it. Going back to the timeliness and being here on time. You have to do that. You have to do that. It'll set you apart from everybody else. And that's the biggest gem. That's the biggest gem, and it's the biggest thing that I want people to get. Literally was talking to Ash about it. Yes, it's the ABCs, and it breaks a lot of things down. But please, y'all got to understand that this is a business. Don't think that this is a hobby. I mean, it can be a hobby for people. But, I run into a lot of people that are always like, I want to make money. This is what I want to do. Yeah, all right, cool. But it's just like a laundromat.
It looks easy.
Yeah.
It's just like a laundromat.
A laundromat, a restaurant. Any store you have, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Would you not, like if you had a restaurant and it said open 10 to 8, would you just open it up at 2? No. You'd open it up at 10 because people are supposed to be there. So you have to structure your business like a business. And a lot of people don't because we're dealing with artists and creatives, and I just want to be, okay, cool. I also have a saying, art is never wrong, and it's never wrong because it's an expression. Mm-hmm. I get that. But when you have an art form combining with business, that's where you have to, there's some adjustments that have to be made.
Artists have managers. Artists have a team. Absolutely. I never saw it that way because I'm a creator myself, so I never saw it that way. But you're right, 100%. Mm-hmm. I'm still stuck doing everything alone, as we can see. It's just me and him in the room. Yeah, but I'm behind the camera right now too.
Yeah, but
both cameras.
But that's work ethic, bro.
So it's like I get that 100%. Mm-hmm. It's you need that management. Maybe one day I'll start something. I'll start outsourcing, but. Yeah, man, it's hard being an artist and both.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
And that's what happens is that the hard part, I think, is that when you're overwhelmed and it's like, all right, I got to bring somebody in, but you're overwhelmed, but there's no money being generated yet. And that other person that has to come in wants to get paid, how they get paid. And management, we don't get paid. It's not like a retainer. Like I've had people approach me and be like, how much you charge a month to manage? I'm like, what?
What do you do? You only get paid when the artist gets paid? When the content credit? Really?
Yeah, 100%. That's what managers do. Like real managers.
I thought it was like contract and stuff like that.
No, you have a contract, yes, yeah. But the thing is that the other way, that's consultation. I have that too, right? Because that's all I can do now, meaning I don't have the bandwidth to sit there and take on more clients. So I'm like, listen, I have something that I do my consultations all on something on this app called Modi, right? So it's like literally, hey, you go there and everything is handled in there. Calendar, payment, all of that it's video calls. I could do that. But managers, there's no retainer for a manager. We're not lawyers, right? And listen, people look at, some people be like, nah, I have to because it's my time. And how I look at it is that if you felt like you needed to get paid and you didn't believe in somebody, then why are you doing it? Because now you're just doing it for a check.
Because it's a business.
Yeah.
That's why I thought you'd be getting paid at least for your time.
Yeah, and it'll be a consultant. But what happens is that when you tell somebody you're a manager, they expect for management. I tell people, and I'm upfront, no, I can consult you. I'll consult. We can have conversation, that type of stuff. But there's no way that I would say, hey, I want to manage you. And hey, by the way, this is how much it costs a month. That's just not me.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
My man. As a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Baseball player.
My man. No, yeah, you said after you realized your height wasn't for
5'8". Yeah,
for
I
NBA.
probably would have wanted to be a basketball player, but I always wanted to be a baseball player as well.
Nice. What are 3 things you need to be happy?
That I need to be happy?
Yeah.
My family to be happy. My wife and kids to be happy. I need to be at my fullest. Like when I look in the mirror and have the conversation with my soul, not to see what I'm wearing, like that conversation, that needs to be happy. And I think just peace.
My man. I like that. Family peace, family happiness.
Mm-hmm. My family's everything, bro.
What's the most exciting thing you ever did?
Most exciting. Damn, this is gonna sound extra corny right now, but most exciting. Damn, that's not the most exciting. Is that the most exciting? I was gonna say, went to the World Series and the Yankees lost. But I never been to a World Series.
That's what I'm saying. Being in the house.
You know what was crazy? Because everything is sports. Like the Super Bowl. I went to the Super Bowl with Melanie. We did something with Hulu, and ended up going. That was fire. That was exciting. Trying to get an Uber after that was even more exciting. But damn, that's crazy. You gotta understand, bro. I got 50 years of files right now that I'm trying to go through.
Saying.
I'm trying to go through.
What stands out the most?
Most exciting. Damn, I gotta think about like. I'm using sports things. World Series, Super Bowl. I guess that's cool.
You're a big sports fan?
I'm a big sports fan.
So then that's what it is. You know, it's so funny because I wouldn't say I'm envious of sport fans, but the excitement that I see in sports fans when they react to something happening, I don't see other people experience that type of excitement.
Yeah.
How crazy is that?
Yeah.
So I understand when you say that's the most exciting thing, to be at the World Series and you're a Yankee fan.
Yeah.
What better situation is that?
Yeah, I was, because again, I was excited for that. You know
what I mean? When people jump out their skin, yeah,
bro.
Where else do people cheer like that?
I'll show you when we finish. I'm gonna show you the video.
Yeah,
from that game. Yo, bro, the dude next to me fucking lifted me up. He was like, "Yo, we was dumb hype." I was recording. It was all over the place. That was fire. That was fire. Like I enjoy that.
That's what I mean. What else in your life ever makes you come out of your skin like that? Nothing, right?
Nah, maybe performing when I was dancing like that. Okay. Getting the butterflies and doing that, like
breaking through the anxiety.
Yeah, and then you kill it. Yeah. You're like, damn, I just bodied that. Like that was fun, and just But
for real, sports fans got this.
Yeah, sports and doing an event and it goes off. I mean, there's always a hitch, but I don't know. Exciting is also getting more money than you expect. Right, like it's like what I enjoy is that if a creator I ask somebody there's a situation, hey, how much would you do this for? And let's just say they say 1,000, and I come back, I'm like, yo, I got you 5. I love that.
Oh, because yes, 5 times, of course.
It's more money for me, of course, but it's not about that. It's about me telling you, yo, yeah, I'll do it for 1,000.
What's that phrase where it's something like low something and high outcome? Something. What is it? It's like low expectations and something like that.
Yeah. I always say, damn,
you give people the low expectation and then you outperform and show them like,
it's like overproduce and under expect, something like that. Damn, I can't believe
I forgot it too. But yeah, that's kind of the same situation.
Damn.
So as a manager, how does it really work? You have the talent, and then you look for the best avenue for that talent, and then you pitch what each other can offer each other. Let's say it's a venue. Yeah, let's say it's a restaurant. Have you ever dealt with a restaurant and a all right, so let's keep it simple with that. Let's say it's a restaurant. You go to the restaurant and say,
yeah, well, in the beginning, like I said, that like a lot of people misinterpret a manager for an agent.
Yeah, I don't even know the difference. Yeah. You know what it is? We all know these words, but when it comes to social media, it's so different.
Yeah, now. I always say the best way to describe it, agent is about the moment and the manager is about the career, right? So the agent is about getting the restaurant and the this and that. Mm-hmm. The manager is about when the agent gets that, hey, does this work? Do we think this is a good idea? Like the manager is right there with you on the overall of your career.
So the manager has agents pitching them the ideas.
Yeah, but in the beginning, a manager is everything. A manager is the agent too, so they'll they'll come and handle everything. But the actual job of a manager is to manage the career, which has agents, and then you have publicists, and then you get booking agents, and when you get to that point, right? Me, the way I work, ideally, I like to make sure that the talent doesn't take such a hit, because the more people you have, the more percentage you got to give out.
Oh, of course.
Right? Of course. So, usually management is, could be 15 to 20%. Then agency, an agent can be the same thing. Mm-hmm. So think about that. If you have something, and let's just say it's on the side, okay, the agent gets 20, manager gets 20, now you're at 60. I work where if I do 20%, and if agency does 15 or 20, I cut my percentage in half.
Wow!
Like I go down to 10 if it's brought in by an agent, because I just
don't
not
jerk the creator.
Yeah, I just don't want them. I just don't want them to get. I just don't want them to get hit.
Yeah, because you're outsourcing technically. The manager's technically outsourcing to the agency.
No, well, you're also working in conjunction, because there's a lot of times that I'll have other managers, other agents. Hey, Mike, I got something for some of your time. Okay, cool. And we figure that stuff out on the back end. But when I'm figuring that out, it's always to make sure that they don't get hit. What I don't want to do is, hey, I got this situation, and but you got to give up 40% of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah. It's part of the game. I don't know. I'm different, and maybe I'm more about the long term, right? I've had those situations.
That's noble, man. That's really noble.
Yeah. Nah. I like I said. I always wish that for me, my slogan could be, I actually give a fuck. Like that's my slogan.
Success. I actually give a fuck.
Exactly.
I love it. As you get older, what has become more important and less important?
What's become more important is how I view me, and less important how others view me.
Perfect. What would be the best piece of advice you'd give your younger self?
Somebody had asked me this too. Be patient. It'll happen in God's time.
God got it all under control.
Mm-hmm.
I just started really soul searching and spiritually searching and figuring all this stuff out, because I was against believing religion because it didn't sound believable, all the stories.
I get it.
But as I got older, I started doing some research, and I understand it 100% now.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, shit is real. Again, to me, I've witnessed things, and that's why I said I'm spiritual. I'm not religious. I'm very, 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 very spiritual.
And anything you're willing to share, like any good story?
I mean, I'll give you a great story.
Oh, let's do it.
So, like I told you, my grandmother, our family saint was Saint Michael. I was living with my grandmother when I was going through my reckless phase. And my grandmother was very aware. My grandmother definitely had received messages and stuff like that. And when I was younger, I didn't believe, right? And I remember one time, and this is just one of, there's probably another 5 that I could tell. But this one I remember because I was going out with my boys and we was going down to, she didn't know this. I was just leaving, right? I was just going out. And she was like, listen, be careful today. St. Michael, just be careful today. St. Michael sees. And I'm like, at that age, I'm like, yeah, whatever. I was like 20.
Of course.
I was like, yeah, whatever. So we was going to...
Grandma always over worries.
Yeah. So we went to a party on 149th and St. John. I was like 163rd and Tiffany. So we would go down there, walking down there, whatever, drinking. I smoked weed at the time. Went down to house party. It was fire. Loved it. It was great.
I bet.
Right? Chilling. DJ in the kitchen. I never forget this.
DJ in the kitchen. Was there food?
Huh?
Was there food too?
Nah, there was a
straight
food.
business.
There was food.
Straight business.
DJ in the kitchen, and then I remember they said, that the DJ passed out. He was drunk, whatever. It was awesome. It was great. Right? So we leave the party. Ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? Again, I'm not thinking nothing of it. Next day, wake up, go to the block, see this dude. Now he has a bandage on his whole thing. It looked like a Q-tip. Like, seriously, his whole thing was covered. Right? I was like, yo, then what happened? He was like, like 3 minutes after y'all left the party, there was a shootout in the hallway. And the bullet bounced, ricocheted all over and caught me in my hand. I was like, no way. And I was like, yo, that's nuts. Because I thought, at that moment, I was like, yo, my grandmother said, you know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
So I had a lot of that. So if you don't have that, it becomes, you don't believe. But I had quite a few of those scenarios.
So personally, it's not even you seeing it with other people. These things happen with you.
Nah, there was a bunch of things that happened with me.
That's beautiful, bro.
People that are ignorant and be like, well, why doesn't your grandmother have the lotto? No, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, because you get that. You get that.
Of course you get that, because 99% of people just see that as the, well, if you're gifted or if you're special, then why you're not rich? Why you're not famous? Why you got a mansion? Like,
exactly.
It has nothing to do with anything. It's the heart, the brain, the soul.
Yeah, so that was kind of crazy.
But that's weird because your birth date, your grandma into St. Michael,
bro, all of that,
and then you witnessing these things. That's
so
really
you're super
deep.
Spiritual.
Since 2019, I started opening my mind to everything that really matters and soul searching. So I'm only 5 years deep.
Okay.
I'm 37, so 5 years is not a big gap. I mean, not a big chunk of 37 years. So it's hard for me to say I'm very spiritual.
Okay.
But
you believe in spirituality.
Man, I more than believe. You ever did any psychedelics?
No.
I'm heavy into it.
Okay.
And that pretty much blurs the line between physical reality and spiritual.
I know.
So because of that and my soul searching in general, just reading and trying to learn and educate myself on what the meaning of life is, all that combined, I'd say I'm very spiritual.
You believe in mediums, speaking to the afterlife?
No.
Okay.
No.
So I'm going to tell you something.
I know they exist. I see them all the time. Even at these influencer events, sometimes they'll have one there as like a vendor, and I just don't even look at them. I don't even want to talk to them because I don't know anything about them.
So
I don't know if I believe or not.
I go to one. I go
really?
to one twice
when you say you go to one as often?
Oh, yeah, twice a year.
What?
Yeah. So, and like I told you, my grandmother passed away in 2002, bro.
Okay.
I speak to my grandmother every single day.
My man.
Right? So, I'm gonna tell you this. My mom had went to this woman, Joanne. She's awesome, right? And as a true New Yorker, skeptical. As spiritual as I am, skeptical, right? Let me see what this is about, right? My mom was like, she's amazing. Now, my mom didn't tell her anything about me, whatever. Go up there. Immediately, she tells me, your grandmother's here. Right? So that's immediate. Come on. And then she says, well, she's talking, and again, this is not like it's exact, right? So, because the way she works is, who's the Jay that passed away? Is there anything that she'll receive messages? So we're in the middle of all of this, right? Then she leans up, like we're sitting like this, facing each other, and then she leans up to me, and she says, your grandmother wants me to ask you if you still have what she asked you to keep in your wallet.
Nah.
Bro, when I tell you, I'm getting goosebumps talking about it. When I tell you I broke down, my mom didn't even know about that. Because I could have been like, my mom said, like that skepticism.
Of course.
Yo. From then on, that was it. And she's done,
2 times a year.
Yeah, 100%. I like to go around my birthday and like my, it's going to sound like the crazy kid, my half birthday. But like March and September.
So why do you keep going back? What do you keep getting every time?
Well, sometimes it's like, I'll have questions. Excuse me. It's almost like a spiritual advisor. I kind of feel like that's the way I can talk to my grandmother. Because I'll get message, like she'll tell me things.
No way.
Like my grandmother is very out there. Like my grandmother was a very strong individual personality. My grandmother was no joke, bro.
I never met her. I don't know much about her, but to run a bar in the South Bronx.
Bro, for 40 years. And she was tight with Supreme Court judges and gang members.
So 40 years, when was the opening date?
Oh, bro.
Because it's like, she has to be like
I want to say in the 40s. I want to say
that's one of the craziest things.
I have a picture. Like
that's one of the craziest things alone right there. Just her running that bar for 40 years in the South Bronx. People that never been to the Bronx before. 40 years, that means back before street cameras, back before body cameras, back before cell phones, back before everything.
I called her the queen of South Bronx, bro.
100%.
She was no joke.
She's a goddess.
She was no joke. And
powerful.
Now, speaking about that's crazy is I spoke to Joanne the week before my birthday.
Before cameras. I'm still stuck on the bar. Before even cameras, probably like surveillance cameras even were a thing. You're running a bar in the South Bronx.
Nah, it was crazy.
Powerful woman. Sorry.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Like what's crazy, and I spoke to her, and regular. She told me some things again, which was crazy. And then she goes, now mind you, I didn't say nothing about nothing. She says to me, before you ask me any other questions, she says, because she'll read you and then kind of be like, hey, if you have any questions. She says, before you ask me any questions, she goes, they want me to ask you, what's with this book? I said, no way.
Come on.
I swear to God.
She doesn't. There's no way she could Google you?
No, bro,
she doesn't know your first and last name?
The book didn't come out till October 1st. I didn't even tell her about anything. That was one of the questions I was going to ask, though.
Wait, so this was before you even wrote it?
No. I had it.
That's what I'm saying. There's no way she knows your first and last name to Google you? Nothing?
No, but the book wasn't out.
Oh, it wasn't out.
No.
You wrote it already, but it wasn't out.
Yeah, we didn't do nothing.
No way.
We didn't do nothing with it.
No way.
And I was like, oh my God. I said, Joanne, I was literally going to ask you about this. She was like, they see this as a very good thing for you. You are going, this is you. And when I told Ash about it, he was like, nah, bro, that's crazy.
He believes?
100%. 100%. And that's the thing. At the end of the day, if I keep it 1,000, I don't care if anybody believes. I do.
No, but I mean, you communicate with him and you hold him at a good regard.
Oh,
so
Ash?
That's what I'm saying. He believes medians and spirituality.
I don't know if he does. He believes me.
All right.
I'll tell you that. But he's very spiritual though.
That's brand building right there.
Yeah,
if I said it, you believe in my word.
Yeah, bro. Bro. Like I don't bullshit, bro, about stuff like that. Like I do not.
That's crazy.
I do not. Like, and that's what I'm saysaying. That's what I literally. And I'm being fully transparent with you.
I appreciate that story. That's incredible. It makes me even want to give it a try.
Yeah,
now.
I told Ash, I was like, yo, bro, like the reason why I'm going hard with this book is because of that. Like I was gonna go hard, but that shit just took it. That shit took it to another level. To me, that was my grandmother being like, "Yo, go."
Watching you write it and saying, "Yes, that's the next move, my man. That's it."
Yeah,
that's deep, man.
Yeah,
wow,
it's wild, bro. It's wild. If you believe, if you don't believe,
it's hard for you to even comprehend the conversation.
Yeah. If you don't believe,
it's very difficult.
Go watch another video but subscribe first.
There you go. So to stay on the spirituality conversation, you must believe in the afterlife.
I do 1,000%.
So what do you think like the soul is and all that? Like, can you put it in your type of words? Because I try to make sense of it where I can understand it, but can you put it in words?
I don't know. I mean, clearly souls never die.
So you believe in reincarnation?
Yeah, I guess. I
guess, right?
Yeah,
I feel the same way. I guess.
I don't know. I like I said, I do know.
Like near-death experience stories.
Yeah.
And those type of things.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I know my grandmother's with me.
Yeah.
Like, especially in those moments, and even other moments. Like, that was 22 years ago she passed, bro. So, I always tell people when people pass, and I don't know if I got allergies or something. I don't want people thinking I'm doing coke or anything like that. But it's just wild. Like, yo, I'll be like this. I'll be like, yo, people think I'm
wild.
No, but the thing is that I tell people when somebody passes, because of my experience, again, trying to help people, I would love to hug my grandmother.
Of course.
Right? The adjustment, and it takes time. I tell people, when somebody passes, learn to have a spiritual relationship with them. It'll never, substitute a physical, but you still feel like the person is there. And I'm a firm believer in energy, so I don't know if your energy keeps the person alive. I don't know. What I do know is that my grandmother's here. I believe in that. She's with me. She knows things. So, that's me.
Yeah, I get it 100%.
And
that's your experience.
And I also understand how people don't believe it.
Of course, I understand that too. Because I was there before.
Yeah.
You were there before too.
Yeah, it's skepticism, and especially when you're from New York.
Hell yeah.
You just be like,
we need solid facts.
Yeah, you coming from the hey, follow the queen. That type of stuff,
Fucking spirituality compared to that.
Yeah. Look. And I just took you for your bread,
Crazy. If you had to describe the Bronx to someone that never even knew this place existed, how can you describe it to them?
Describing it now? This Bronx? Or those Bronx?
I guess as a whole.
Back in the day, it was rubble. Like it was nothing. The Bronx is starting to get once I heard that they were calling South Bronx Sobro, that's wild to me.
That's gentrification.
Yeah, that's wild to me. But the Bronx is culture to me. The Bronx, you got to understand, the Bronx has, you have all different types of neighborhoods, right? And it's not about whether they're good or bad. You just have so much culture within them, And I think it's a beautiful thing. I think New York is a beautiful thing. Right? Like I always say, and maybe this is the bias because I am a New Yorker, I think if the world thought like New Yorkers, and I'm not saying the bad stereotype with the attitude New Yorkers, the fact that we're a melting pot and we don't see color, if the rest of the world was like that, it would be a better place. Because once you leave New York, you have separation. Like, yes, we have Little Italy, we have Chinatown, you have those things, but we're all together. Right? So it's so diverse, and I love growing up here because when you go somewhere else, again, it's so compartmentalized. It's like, put in boxes. When you leave New York, most of the country is, if you're Spanish, you're Mexican. without even knowing that there's so many layers, right? So many, because that's just what it is. But that's
and in
what
New
they
York,
know.
you're more educated on all the layers.
Yeah. But I just think,
I try to explain that same scenario to people from New York, and some people even from New York don't even understand that. There's a feeling, there's a love in New York City, especially like even Manhattan, where it's just chaos, just cabs beeping and flying by each other, people crossing the street, blah blah blah. There's still that. Get out my way. I'm in a rush. I'm going somewhere. You know that. Don't mess with me. But if something's going down, yo, we're on the same side. Like we're all, like it's a love. It's a love hate type thing. You gotta have love to have hate. So it's not real hate. It's just like, yo, you know I'm busy. You know where we at. Let me get to where I'm going. Don't get in my way. Yeah,
I hate you right now because you're in my way.
Yeah, but if something happens, we're on the same side. Yo, you good? Everything's good? Okay, cool. Like, there's still that love. That New York love is real.
No, it's a fact.
100%. I asked so many of my guests. I've had a lot of guests from the Bronx on here. And it's hard for people from the Bronx to answer that question. And I think it's because, like you said, there's so many different areas. It's hard to put it all into like a sentence or one thought.
Yeah.
There's all different types of areas in the Bronx.
No, 100%. 100%.
What do you do for your mental health?
Walk.
My man.
Yeah, I realize walk, take showers. Like, I mean, clearly I take showers. But like there be some times that I'm just like, yo, I gotta jump in the shower. The shower's my office. I think a lot of people are like that. I like to walk my dog. I like to smoke cigars. Like to kind of just be on some chill mode. Walking my dog without listening to anything, listening to a video or listening to music, just kind of being in my own. Mental health is super important. And I always say everything starts with a mindset. So you got to be clear and, you got to take care of it. So
Definitely. If you could have any question answered, and it could be anything, even the time you're going to die, what question would you ask?
For me, any question answered, I would probably go back. What's the afterlife like? Because I want to make sure I know I'm going to be the same person over there too. You know what I'm saying?
I've read a lot of books on the afterlife and stuff like that. Not a lot, just a few. I'm exaggerating. But you ever heard any near-death experience stories and stuff like that?
I have.
They're all real similar, where it's like there's no words, obviously. There's no language in the spiritual world. We just know English and Spanish because we're from here, But in the spiritual world, it's like we all can just understand what we're saying. There's no real words. So a few stories that I've heard that I believe are true. When you get there, you meet the other souls that are there, and they know you for centuries, of course, because our spirits live forever. This is just a short few years, They're always approached by people they know, like, how was it? Welcome back.
That's fire.
How crazy is that, man?
I know. And the thing is it's hard to comprehend because we're
Very
such in
hard
this
to
world.
comprehend. Everything's physical and hunger and thirst and want and needs, and it's just physical. Everything's physical. But of course, how can you blame everybody? We got eyes and we got hands, and everybody has a sex drive, and everybody wants the most and the best. But how do you get through to people like that? It's impossible.
Yeah.
Well, not that it's impossible, but it's very difficult.
But
it's very difficult.
Yeah, it's up to the person.
Yeah, very difficult. If you had one law everyone on earth had to follow, what would it be?
Be on time.
My man. Since the beginning of this podcast to the end of the podcast, punctuality.
Be on time. Nah, one law is just be true, just be honest. Just care, understand. I have a bunch of laws that I wish the world would be.
Care and understand actually falls under punctuality, because if you care and understand other people's time are as valuable as yours, you'll be punctual.
Yeah.
So punctuality falls right under all that shit too. Just be on time.
Yeah, you're a good host.
I appreciate that, man. Overall life goals outside of
nothing materialistic.
The management and the brand building and the business building, overall life goals?
Overall life goals is my loved ones to be happy. I tell my kids this all the time. I tell my wife this. I just want y'all to be happy. Like, whatever that is. Not my version. I want you to be happy. And that leads into the success aspect of it, but I want you to be happy. Like, I really do. I'm an emotional being. I'm an empath for sure. When I see my wife or my kids happy doing something that they enjoy, I get emotional because I'm happy. I was just telling my wife that, like, we have a dog and a cat, and it's like, they're the most important people in the house.
Nah.
You know what I mean? Definitely.
Because you don't got babies no more, right?
Yeah, nah, but the thing is that I enjoy watching, seeing my wife